thumping will get us away here at Optus Oval. Stafford making a return. He's going up against Madden. Stafford hands to the ball. Derek Kickett the hand pass out, and he was tackled high, and Kickett will take the free kick. Cricket pitch area has been covered. It looks nice and firm in the direction of Lockett. Well, Silvani was in front, but the elevation on the kick from Kickett was perfect, and Plugger got it within 30 seconds of the start.
There's a situation, is it, where Silvani's not quite sure whether to go to the ball or try and establish body contact with Lockett, and sometimes just got to go for the ball against these great players.
Swans into the breeze, but that is a great kick by Lockett. The man who's kicked 1,080 goals. What a kick.
It's one thing to get the ball, it's the other thing to make the conversion, and it was not a difficult shot, probably 45 metres, but really it's just the body strength and bulk and height of Lockett altogether. As you see, Silvani just wasn't sure where to go to, just a very slight shove to hold his position, and really a very good accurate kick from almost 50 metres.
So the Swans get the start as they did last week against Footscray. The first goal on the board. Madden down, but Kelly again. Sydney surging through the centre of the ground. Falls to short. Kelly gets his own ball and barges through. Strength and aggression from the skipper. Carlton trying to tie it up at halfback. Camporeale held. Williams a quick kick out into space. Clape swings it around, but Sydney have the room here through McPherson, pushing out wide. Maxfield's his target. Camporeale pushing back on him. Maxfield, the left footer, finds the space he wants, tosses it inside towards centre half forward. O'Loughlin in front. Sydney really out on all guns blazing at the moment.
You don't often see the front player, but Christo was caught behind, but normally that defensive fish to punch away is so reliable. But Williams outmarked him a few times last week, and good start for O'Loughlin.
So Michael O'Loughlin looking for Sydney's second and his personal first for some 3 weeks. This time he's on target and he's got it.
What a dream start for the Swans. The Blues have hardly had the ball.
Yeah, I mean, getting the first couple of goals of the game is just so critical, and this duel out on the outer wing there, the two speedsters, Camporeale and Maxfield, but really it was a genuine contest and just a very good judgment of the flight of the ball by O'Loughlin, and again, Christo can normally spoil in those situations.
Stafford against Madden, a youngster against a veteran. Stafford beats him, down to Kickett. The ball's come up here to Seymour, but they've given it away. Camporeale, short pass is good, and Whitehead takes the mark. Whitehead down towards half forward, over the head of Kernahan. The ball out of bounds. The umpire calls for the throw-in, even though there was a knock off the ball. But it is a throw-in on the 50-metre line. Carlton in attack for the first time. They have the breeze in the first quarter, but have been stunned to concede the first 2 goals. Kernahan in ruck against Stafford. Stafford's done very well. Whitehead keeps the ball in. Fraser Brown, he's had a tough week. Williams against his old team. Back to Camporeale. Ill-directed, and Scott Daryn making a return. Takes a good defensive mark. Daryn puts the ball out in front. Lewis is playing out here on Koutoufides. He got away from him that time. In the middle to Grant. The hand pass to O'Loughlin. Went behind him. O'Loughlin back to Lewis. Kick well smothered. Christo gets it to Koutoufides. He's barreled by Kelly. And the ball comes back and will be a free kick to Scott Camporeale.
Camporeale out wide. Madden offering the target at half forward. The veteran, the long left foot probing into full forward. Kernahan, Dunkley in total control at fullback.
An interesting situation that Ron DeLulio is basically down trying to pick up Shannon Grant, who's been such a constructive defender. So sometimes the forward picking up the defender, part of the modern game.
Christo coming through to take the ball. Couldn't control it, and the ball goes over the line out of bounds again. Conditions quite ideal. Chance of a shower, but at this stage it all looks fine. Forward pocket for Carlton. Spinning the ball out is Sydney, trying to make the break from half-back. Kernahan, quick kick, out of bounds on the full. Stephen Kernahan some doubt during the week as a result of having had the flu. The short kick. Kelly unable to take it under the pressure from Williams. Fraser Brown, handball back inside. Ratton strong in at it with Kelly, but the ball's all tied up, and once again the umpire will bounce. Umpire Andrew Coates, quite an experienced umpire now, over 100 games worth of experience. Manton pushing in hard against Stafford, and Sydney quite prepared just to tie it up here now. Sydney defence all locking in one-on-one. Justin Madden now has come to join Stafford in the ruck. Stafford returning into the side this week. Down front, Kelly couldn't handle it. Roos smothered again. The ball locked up in this forward pocket for Carlton. Drew, let's see if you perhaps can get it out of there.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, and the turf is shifting under their feet. Reasonably damp underfoot. Madden and Stafford. Madden knocks it goalwards for the Blues. Kelly, well done. Maxfield across to the outer side of the ground. A chase on here. Grant behind DiIulio. And Christou there with O'Loughlin. Well done, Ronnie DiIulio. Shrugs the tackle. Loses the ball, though. Christou there to help. O'Loughlin covered a couple of them. Well done, O'Loughlin. Forced the ball out of play on centre wing. Oh, that was great stuff.
Been a very good pickup for number 40 in a draft, hasn't he, Michael O'Loughlin?
Bargain basement buy. Maxfield lost it. Williams a hand pass. Madden left-footed to centre half forward. Oh, big climb by Paul Roos, and a magnificent mark by Roos, playing his 302nd game and still going like a 2-year-old colt.
He finds Scotty Daryn back into the side this week. In short, Cresswell feeds back to the run of Daryn. In again, and Dale Lewis, the left footer, wanted to go, decided not to. Williams had him held up. Now looking for Lockett. It's not going to reach that player in front of Hickmott found a niche in the Carlton side. Elects to play on quickly towards Koutoufides, but it's over the top of his head. Pushing in Leo Barry in towards the centre of the ground, but couldn't find a Swan teammate. And Williams now repels the ball deep into the Carlton forward line, and Pearce. Brad Pearce right out of the space in front of him. Greg Williams so often finds his target.
And that kick from the wing back into the centre square is always a dangerous option. If it misses its target, as it did from Barry, Williams gained possession, opens up the Carlton forward line.
So Brad Pearce looks good. The Sydney fans behind it don't like it. So Brad Pearce, his first goal, Carlton's first. 1 goal Carlton, 2 to Sydney.
Yes, and as I mentioned, we might see the build-up of this. It was the mistake by Barry. Kicked the ball inside, Carlton gained possession, and really the centre corridor's open to you, and really Pearce could go anywhere we would want it, and Williams is such a good kick of the ball to the lead, and a good confident start for Pearce.
Back in the middle, and Madden wins this time, but Maxfield for the Swans hurriedly onto the left boot. Inside the 50 already. Michael Sexton defends. Camporeale unmarked on centre wing. In the direction of Kernahan. Off his hands at the back to Pearce, but well done by Huskus. Kernahan swamped Dunkley in there to help. And Andrew Dunkley forces the ball up on the Carlton skipper. Two shot of those two would be interesting to see the height that Dunkley is giving away to Kernahan, but he can get some height with his jumping. And actually there was a shepherding infringement in the ruck, and it's to be a Swans free kick. You can see the signal from umpire Goldspink, and even though it was Dunkley who was jumping high and getting hand of the ball, he wins the free kick. He goes by hand back to Huskus, straight up the centre of the ground, and a perfect kick. And the mark taken by Seymour, off to Kelly, through the middle. Kicked by Kelly for Lockett. You can't get better than that. Well, 2 Brownlow medalists combining there, and there was absolutely naught that Silvani could do. Similar kick to Lockett's first one. He goaled then, and this one is right and a miss. 1 goal, 1 for Lockett.
It's one of those things you forget about Paul Kelly, just what speed he's got. You know, I think he really is up there with some of the quicker players in the game. He hasn't really got that reputation, but he certainly goes quick when he's on the move.
So Carlton from the kick-off. Greg Williams deep in defence now, pushes around Koutoufides. He has the space to be able to go on. Whitehead gives him the option. Gathers the ball with the right hand, and now with the left foot in towards Pearce, the centre forward. Huskus behind, does the spoiling. Clape couldn't gather at ground level. Dunkley off the ground, finds McPherson, tidies up to Lewis at half-back. Shaping to go by handball, but the umpire holds everything up. Koutoufides stands the mark, intent on stopping any play on move. Lewis long with the left foot towards Kickett and McKay. McKay spoiling from behind. Disciplined defence towards Ratton, couldn't gather the ball. Andy McKay back into the side. Has only once played consecutive games this year in rounds 2 and 3.
National Sportsbook have the Blues 3-1 on and Sydney 2-1. Lee Matthews would like a slice of the twos if he bet on football. Williams a great hand pass. Heaver took it in a hurry. The kick towards the 50. Manton couldn't grab it. Roos to Kelly, who's been prominent. Roos gets support from Dunkley up from full back. Dunkley's kick to the outer wing. Luff in a bit of space, but look at the pace by Diulio. The 234s go after it. Well done, Ronnie Diulio. He's had a magnificent season, and he ran there like he was in the US sprint trials. Played just 2 games in all of last year, missed out on the premiership, but he's just missed 2 all year this year.
And the 2 big men at it again. This time it favours towards Carlton from Madden. Grant held without the ball, and the umpire adjudicates that way. Shannon Grant inside to Cresswell. Looking to set something up towards centre forward, going towards Kickett in front. Koutoufides couldn't complete the mark. Clape at ground level, feeds off with the left hand. Back to Hickmont. He with the left foot to the wing position. Ratton takes the ball. Manton's free in front of him. Probing kick towards Pearce. Huskus does the spoiling. Backed up. Fraser Brown putting the pressure on the Sydney Swans defence here. Pearce back in with the tackle. And all wrapped up some 40 metres out from goal. Carlton in attack.
You can already see the critical part is going to be the Swans half-forward line. If they can get the ball to the full forward line, Lockett looks dangerous. But Carlton half-back line already pretty safe.
The umpire electing to throw the ball up in the heavier conditions. Ratton. Quick hands out, Manton again. Heaver the left foot around the body. Kernahan couldn't control it. Ground level, Clape tries off the ground. Sydney able to gather along the line, over the line, and out of bounds. Cresswell wraps it all up. Clape here, and the lunge there.
And I think the crowd thought it might have been a trip, but I think he stumbled on his own feet, Clape.
Andrew Dunkley giving nothing away in those last few metres of ground. Madden the left hand down. All tied up in there again. Don't need to guess who that man is. The bottom of the pack. Paul Kelly. What a leader for the Sydney side he's been. Even with the addition of the experience of Roos and Lockett over the last 2 years. He's shouldered that mantle. Madden. Quick kick out of the pack. Roos heading towards the defensive side of the goalposts. And again out of bounds.
Those breathing aids, Lee, you never wore one of those?
No, I must say those ones on the nose, they were something that's just been talked of in the last year or two. Opened up the nostrils, supposedly.
Throw in forward pocket, Blues in attack. Hurried kick by Maxfield, across or even backwards. Kernahan in the forward pocket, tried to tap the ball back to a teammate, but it rebounded out of bounds. So not much has been happening in this inside the 50 for Carlton.
It's an interesting midfield matchup. Brad Seymour normally plays last line defence for the Swans, is up in the midfield in that tagging role on Greg Williams.
Stafford, product of Sydney football from western suburbs. He's up against Madden, a 300-game veteran premiership player. So it's a big task, but he's had a great year. Huskus having to come off the ground with the blood rule. And that has caused the hold-up here, which brings Jason Mooney on the ground. Originally emergency, but replaced Kevin Dyson in the selected side. So quite a hold-up here. As Mooney goes straight to his man, who is Brad Pearce. That's a big task. So now ready to throw the ball in the forward pocket for the Blues. Madden gets it down to Williams. Heaver. Hand pass knocked down. Clape. Did anybody touch that? Clape somehow kicked it through a forest of legs.
I think what we'll see here is Justin Madden who's pushing forward, the very tall ruckman, and the Madden Williams. That was the ruck ground level combination, and eventually Clape did the finish in a fortuitous bounce. But Madden in the forward line doing the ruck work, and Williams is a ground level target. Very dangerous for Carlton.
So Carlton get their second goal through Matt Clape. Stafford palms down, but Williams on the defensive side gathers the ball, feeds to Koutoufides. Probing kick long towards Kernahan. Dunkley's right there with him on the spoil at ground level. Roos feeds. Quick kick out now. Sydney with a chance, but Williams charging through. Upended. Strong play there by Sydney. Fraser Brown working hard there. Unable to complete the move, and Daryn relieves the pressure for Sydney momentarily towards the wing. Luff trying to get back onto the ball against Madden. Scrags Madden. Umpire lets it all go. Now he comes in to ball it up. And you can hear the Carlton fans who thought their number one ruckman warranted a free kick in the tackle there. Big Harry just foxing around a little bit.
Could have gone against him too.
The ball up has occurred and now it just drops straight back down to ground level. And he's at it again, the big fella.
Actually, they're not playing many frees these days. If they're not sure, I reckon they just let it go.
I know those ones in the middle of the pack. It's a fine line between holding the ball or in the back or holding the man in those middle of the pack situations.
So Justin Madden at it again, the 35-year-old, assisting his side to get it towards half forward. But through Brent and then Roos, Sydney reply here, pushing it forward. O'Brien. His first involvement in the game for Craig O'Brien. All Sydney pushes forward previously have gone through Tony Lockett. And Justin Madden comes off for a spell. Matthew Allen on. As Craig O'Brien lines up 2 goals for last week. And he's opened with a big one this week. It's a goal. Sydney 3 goals, 1. Carlton 2 goals straight.
I think that's the extra dimension to the Swans forward line they need. Against North Melbourne a couple of weeks ago, Derek Kickett went and played alongside Lockett and became an alternative target. And as good as Lockett is, every attack goes through him, it becomes too predictable. And having O'Brien, who is a good leading forward and usually a good accurate conversion, if he can kick his 2, 3, 4 alongside Lockett's multiple numbers, makes a big plus for Swans.
Allen on the ball after Madden went to the bench. So now 2 youngsters. Allen up against Stafford. Neither really. Best and fairest. Ratton outside the centre square. Good contest going on here. Roos applying the tackle. And Manton's been a terrific player for the Blues. He was a surprise dumping by Essendon. Grabbed by Carlton last year. Played in a premiership side. And he must have thought, how long's this been going on? And he's gone on his merry way. Thrown up by the umpire, palmed down by Allen, but Ratton applying the immediate tackle. Daryn Cresswell, who in the past has matched up on Greg Williams and has done pretty well against him. And one of Swans' best and fairest. Today he's on the current best and fairest for the Blues, Ratton. Eventually the ball out to Stafford. Hurried kick. Koutoufides marks on centre wing. The Blues flowing game so prominent here at Optus Oval hasn't been in evidence yet. Across the ground it missed Williams. Chance for the Swans. Maxfield has it. Left footer is perfect. Have a look at this. O'Brien Lockett on his own. Here's a goal to Plugger. What an expensive miss by Koutoufides in the middle.
I think we saw it from the Swans before. If you kick the ball from the wing back into the centre square, you have to find a target. And Carlton got a goal before from the Swans area when Koutoufides. I think we saw Williams' lack of leg speed here. When the ball didn't go to him on the mark, he had no chance of getting to that ground level, and eventually ball went to Maxfield. Carlton defenders have left their man, and an easy goal to Lockett.
Lockett, second goal. Sydney now 4 goals, 1-2. Been very aggressive, and here they come again. Roos providing the run from half-back, pushes out wide. Mooney, originally an emergency, into the side now. 2 goals last week, a free kick down the field. Tiller, O'Brien. The third umpire Brent Allen.
Well, only he would know what went on there.
Well, that's what the third umpire's there for. I know O'Brien ended up on the ground, so it was just one of those holding, pushing, shoving things forward of the ball.
Dipper, did you get a look at it?
Yes, after O'Brien kicked the goal, as he kicks for goal now, he kicks truly. There's another guy for O'Brien. There's a lot of pushing and shoving, and Hickmont just gave him one. Umpire saw it, and another score on the board for O'Brien.
So O'Brien's second goal joins Tony Lockett as the multiple goal scorer on the ground, and Sydney now 5 goals, 1, Carlton 2.
O'Brien trying to suck Hickmott in here for another one.
And I think you mentioned before that Cresswell normally plays on William, today on Ratton. I think that's a sign of the times. Ratton is now regarded as Carlton's main midfielder, their best midfielder.
31-12, and the visitors at Optus Oval against Carlton are well in front. The Swans going like a rocket. Allen wins this one. Williams gets free. Kick goes nowhere. Actually, it did, backwards. Koutoufides, Christou. Very high ball to half forward. Clape has kicked a goal. Clever mark. Slipping away from Barry. Matt Clape. Camporeale unmarked inside half forward. With the aid of a shepherd, he centres to Kernahan. They double team him, but no mark. Diulio! Fancy him kicking that one! Celebrating his 50th game, drifts up from defence and gets a goal.
Well, the important point, I think, is the marking contest was in that dangerous spot, about 20 metres out from goal. Really, the Swans' defence doesn't look like allowing the Carlton players to mark, but when it comes to ground level in that part of the ground, all the goals are open to you, and Diulio, who's basically trying to drag Grant out of the play, has kicked the goal.
Eustace back on the ground after the attention from the blood rule, but Diulio's goal in his 50th game has really given Carlton something to come back with now. It's tight in close. Ratton in there now. It's Fraser Brown just trying to find the space. Koutoufides couldn't get away on his left. Camporeale now gives it back to Koutoufides. He finds run through the centre. Heaver on 50. Vacant square. Goals! Brent Heaver on the end of some very good work from Anthony Koutoufides. Twice involved in the centre of the ground. Finds the little run and made no mistake.
Well, this is a bit of a game, I reckon. It's both very good teams that are both having their runs at it. The Swans have got the ascendancy. Carlton kicked the last 2 and always look dangerous when they go forward. But really 2 very good teams playing well at present.
Seven-point margin now. The Swans in front after the Blues have kicked the last 2. Stafford beats Allen. Ball sits up on its point, allowing Greg Williams in. The handphone. Williams is decked down behind the play. Umpire saw it. Relayed free kick goes to Diulio. Kick by Diulio for Kernahan. No mark, no free kick. Front of the pack. Whitehead from wide out. Just missed it. Nearly a great goal by Adrian Whitehead. Williams recovered straight away. The margin now 1 straight kick.
Sydney now working the ball out from the kick-off. Paul Kelly from half-back towards Lewis on the wing. Michael Sexton's the spoiler. Fraser Brown at ground level couldn't control. Allen pushes it forward again. Everyone's just working hard at this one. Finally, Sexton finds Brown with space. On the left foot, Kernahan and Dunkley. Kernahan the body, yes! He is extremely strong in that position.
Isn't that the great thing about Kernahan? Really, it doesn't do it. He doesn't kick the 6-7 goals all that often these days, but to be able to take that mark 20 metres out from goal just once or twice a game, an absolute 50-50 contest, and Dunkley very difficult to mark against, but Kernahan was able to do it.
So Kernahan for his first of the afternoon has rattled the post. One heck of a belting. Carlton 4-2 now. Greg Williams feeds off at the last centre bounce and
Derek
Kickett, yes, quite prepared to give him a how to do. Scotty Daryn brings the ball back in wide, right to the boundary line, and Eustace takes the mark. Comes back inboard for the right foot towards Kelly, strong at the ball. Clape wanting to body. Kelly skips away now towards Kickett. McKay spiles at ground level. Diulio trying to work it out. McPherson in over the top, as was Cresswell. The umpire, Goldspink, again bouncing the ball.
This slightly short ground, you can every time there's a contest around the centre line, you know that whoever wins it, the forward lines are going to be open up. They're critical, these 50-50 balls around the middle of the ground.
So Stafford and Allen will adjudicate on this critical one. Free kick. Christo in at the ball, underneath. Now the left footer looking to set something up and goes long. A huge kick inside 50. Dunkley spoils from behind once again. Ground level was Roos to Seymour, to the run of McPherson from the fence towards half forward. The match races on. Christo and O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin remains upright and wins the ball. The little chip kick. Silvani behind, Lockett in front. One hand, can't control it. Flicks it back out. Kelly's followed on up in there with him. O'Brien joins it. There's blue boys everywhere. Plugger claims. No, says the umpire.
I think that's where O'Loughlin probably could have broke the 50-metre mark and had a shot for goal, but he went for Lockett when probably Lockett wasn't the correct option.
Luff with a backhander. Hickmott got a hand of the ball. Christo's kick partly smothered by Lockett. Cresswell with Ratton. It spills to Kelly. 35 metres out. Goal! Paul Kelly has had an outstanding first quarter, and the Swans lead by 11.
Well, one of the things I think when you see two good quality sides is when they get half a chance, they finish, and that's been the story of this game. When either side has had a chance to score, they've had the composure and the ability to do the right thing, to pick the right option, and that was Kelly then. Good smother from Lockett, but a good finish by Kelly.
Allen now against Stafford. Stafford roves his own footy. Here's Kelly again. Went without it that time. Ratton a little hand pass. Camporeale. Wide to Diulio. What a problem child he's been for all opposition this year. Ron Diulio's really stood up and become a league player in the top side in the competition. Glenn Manton, a surprise. Manton hoists it high. Kernahan the target. Spoiled by Dunkley. It comes to Kickett. Was that a trip? Somehow he might have tripped himself. Anyway, over he went. The umpire calls for a baller. And Kickett reckons it's a trip.
Be interesting to watch the replay, but the umpire was caught on the blind side, and whatever happened, the umpire didn't see it. And well, tough to be certain even with the replay.
The umpire will throw this ball into the air, 45 metres out, inside the Blues 50. Kelly another touch to Kickett, cross half back. Ball might have been touched on the way to Grant, but the mark was awarded.
Shannon Grant having the job of minding Ron Diulio. Pitches wide. Troy Luff, the centre half forward. This occasion gets away from Sexton, brings it back into the skipper. Kelly on to Maxfield, left foot. Lockett's too high. Behind him, O'Brien there to support. Feeds it out, drops it.
Good umpiring.
The umpire now bringing him back.
He saw he was caught cold, O'Brien, and threw the ball out in front of him, and some umpires might have been conned into the holding the man, but I'm pretty certain it was a correct decision. He let go of the ball when he saw the tackler coming.
So Hickmott now towards Koutoufides. Couldn't control the ball. Ratton where he belongs, down at ground level, works hard. Back out now, Koutoufides with the run towards Manton at centre half forward. Couldn't handle it, dives back straight into it. Shannon Grant in amongst it for Sydney, but his opponent, Diulio. Handball really still back into the traffic. They can't find any space here just at the moment. McPherson ricocheted off. Heaver, no, directly out of bounds, and Heaver to touch. It was a ricochet.
I reckon it went off Heaver.
Yep.
Yep, the umpire is correct.
Great. So McPherson just tosses it along the line to Stafford. Quite casually now lopes it into half forward, and probably Lewis pushes back, nearly takes a miraculous mark. Luff hard on the boundary, drags it back around, kick it, can't complete it. It's there to be taken. McCain at it hard, assisted by Clape. Here's over the back handball, really does nothing for Carlton. And struggling across half back when the siren sounds. Sydney 6-1-37, Carlton 4-2-26.
So here we go. Madden, who finished the first quarter on the bench, starts for the opening bounce of the second quarter and faces Stafford. Madden wins to Williams. Just gets boot the ball to the 50. A juggle by Manton, and what a mark! Sensational Glenn Manton. Pearce leads from the pocket. Kick going shorter than that, across to Diulio. Well, he kicked a goal in the first quarter. Who's to say he mightn't get more? Out of the 13 games this year. And Diulio kicking from 50. Not quite. Kernahan, no mark. Clape in front, but didn't have time to do anything with it. And is thrown unceremoniously over the boundary line. Maybe a ball up rather than a throw in. And the umpire will ball it up just near the behind post.
Thrown up. Stafford, the right hand, hooking it out towards the boundary line. McPherson hard at it, and he concedes he wants the line, and the umpire says you can have it, mate. McPherson really found a niche in defence for Sydney in the last 8 games there. Carlton full forward, Stephen Kernahan in with Stafford, and Stafford again, just towards the line. Carlton try to keep it alive, but unable. Once the Sydney side have had it locked up in defence throughout the first quarter, they've been quite prepared to be patient. And this is another example. Everyone one-on-one, working it hard. Cresswell now has the opportunity. The quick left foot out towards the wing. Koutoufides spoils from Lewis. It's Heaver at ground level. Handball finds Whitehead. He's searching with one more, just buys ground. And Shannon Brown conceding here. Dunkley in assists. Again, it's all up to Julio trying to get out there. The tackle by Maxfield allowed him to go nowhere. Heaver in again, DeLulio in again, everybody in again.
Yes, and Grant's been put onto the ball actually, and Seymour has gone off Williams. Cresswell's now on Williams. Kick at Kelly sort of alternating out of the forward line as the midfield matchup's been changed around by the Swans.
So once again, 2 bigger blokes go at it. Ratton, Brown, quick hands, DeLulio drags it around. It's high, it's right up front, it's Pearce's. He's dropped it, says the umpire, and they all go again. Well, perfect opportunity there for Brad Pearce. The ball tossed high, he's got all the space he needs to run on into it. It's there in the chest and just spills free.
Thrown up by the umpire again. Stafford interfered with and gets the free kick. This game really creating some passions amongst the fans. Great atmosphere here at Optus Oval. The Swans all of a sudden up towards half forward. Clape after it. Soccer's off the ground. And the line will beat him and will have a throw-in. Well, a couple of times the Blues fans thought they had a free kick inside their 50, and all of a sudden one went to the Swans, and now they've got it at the other end of the ground. Madden against Luff. Guess who? Actually, Luff got a hand to it. And that will be balled up. Fraser Brown, court appearance during the week. Nightclub incident. Tough for him to fight on and come into this game today. Madden wins an absolute perfect ruck hit out to Camporeale. Off to Diulio. Here's kick from centre wing. Kernahan out at half forward. Takes the mark. Too far out to score. He centres the ball for Pearce. On the bounce. Brad Pearce on a big arc. And the shifting turf beat him. Roos has got it. Maxfield climbs. Camporeale front of the pack. Floats it to McKay. Haven't seen too much of him yet. Steers the pass for Kernahan on the 50 near the boundary. Not without a chance. Big sticks. Dumps it long. Stafford there in the goal square. Good mark.
The big ruckman dropping back to give protection across the last line of defence. Now pushes play out towards the outer side. Grant tries to get past Sexton off the ground, but Sexton rebounds it towards Koutoufides. He finds the space inside 50, right on the line. The pressure there from the Sydney defence. Brad Seymour on that occasion, squeezing it all down. Koutoufides has started in fine form on the wing. Madden and Stafford again. Madden just a little bit of body work there to push Stafford under the ball. Aggression right the last few inches of the ball going over the line. Huska's prepared to go in and take Manton on. But over the line and out of bounds. Kernahan should try to get this one over the back. Williams tries to take it himself. Unable to do so, and she's locked up again. A great season for Stafford. Taken on the ruck work 7 games last year. Playing his 12th this week. This time Manton. Fraser Brown, first one way, back on the right. Drags it around. I think he's jagged it. The umpire says so.
And I think what we'll see here when we see a replay in a minute is that Shannon Grant is the direct opponent. He wasn't close enough to Brown. You see him there, he's about 3 or 4 metres away, and he lost him in transit in heavy traffic. But even allowing for all that, was a fantastic finish over his left shoulder by Brown.
Fraser Brown, terrific goal. And a huge roar went up around Optus Oval as Milhana appears for the first time today. He's one of the favourites here, the golf ball. And he's missed a lot of football, came back last week. And here he is, his first game for the season at Optus Oval. All up in the middle. Madden wins, but not to a teammate. Maxfield caught by Ratton. Crowd want ball. Umpire says play on. Maxfield a second time. Kickett had to wait for it. Perfect disposal for Kelly. Left half forward for the Swans. He steers the pass low on the bounce to Lockett. What hands? Luff opens up for Troy Luff. He hooks it round. Magnificent goal. Unselfish by Lockett, and how about the handling at bootlace height?
That's what it's all about, is it? That's what makes Lockett such an awesome player. The kick from Kelly dropped short, but we'll see here. Kick it to Kelly, to Lockett, dropped short, but it's really just the pick up, absolute control at ground level, and the quick hands to Luff. Correct option, really well executed by Lockett, and it really is that agility at ground level for a bloke of his size and bulk. That's makes him a one of, I would think. I've never seen a play with those characteristics, not all of them.
Unbelievable.
So Troy Luff finished off the great work there from Tony Lockett. Luff, 13 goals, 2 for the season now, extremely accurate. The bounce, Fraser Brown gets first go at it and second go at it. This time clears the area towards Manton at centre half forward. He just drops it down towards the ground level for himself to go back at it. Clape assists him. Manton stays in the contest. Fraser Brown following up, but the kick falls short. Paul Kelly to Huskis, to Roos, long towards the wing, but misses Dale Lewis, and Fraser Brown just cleaning up at the back.
Having a big second quarter.
Brown towards Kernahan, front position, unable to hold it. Dunkley follows up at ground level. Williams in amongst it, just the little give to Koutoufides. Holds it in the right hand as he always does, and then drags it round with the left foot. Hannah behind. McPherson for Sydney. Camporeale couldn't get his foot to the ball. Eustace right in at him. Strong defence by Sydney right in the square. And Carlton now 10 points behind.
Kick in by Daryn for Stafford. Madden a bit slow to get there. Stafford at half back for the Swans. 43 to 33. Swans up. Centre wing, Lewis. Started on Koutoufides. Now he's kicked the half forward straight to the opposition. Michael Sexton. If he was aiming for Luff, he had to give it 10 metres more. Kick by Sexton to the centre of the ground. Here's Koutoufides. And Silvani running off Lockett. Now Heaver to centre half forward. The kick by Heaver. He didn't go for the score, went for the pass, and Brown. And now it's out of bounds in the forward pocket. With the momentum up, he might have been better to go for the score. It was a great run by Silvani right up the ground.
It was surprising from Heaver, wasn't it? He did it in the first quarter, but perhaps that breeze that Carlton are going into does have that impact on the ball in flight. Stafford and Kernahan again. McPherson in at it. Ball spilt free. Roos just trying to flick it towards Lewis. Was unable to do it cleanly.
Got one interesting matchup going on out there. Andrew McKay is chasing around Paul Kelly. Given that McKay only plays every now and again, that's really going to test his stamina, because Kelly, I think, runs harder than almost anyone around. He really just takes off.
It's a tough ask for a kid on school holidays, isn't it?
Yeah.
As Andy McKay is. Down again. McPherson wrapped up by Hannah. And as the crowd acknowledges, it's great to have Mil Hannah back into the Carlton lineup. Just 5 weeks early in the season with an ankle injury. Returned last week, 13 possessions in the second half, and now back out into the fray again. The free kick to Sydney.
And the fans not happy. Stafford behind centre half back. We're approaching the 11-minute mark of the second quarter. The Swans lead by 10 points. Great kick by Stafford and an excellent mark by Cresswell on Williams. Cresswell breaks away, puts it wide. O'Brien, another good mark on the 50. Hickmott his man, and that is perfect disposal and marking by the Swans. Who have won their last 4. They've lost just 1 game in their last 10. Kicked by O'Brien. Koutoufides now getting back to the goal square and taking the mark before Lockett pitched it off him.
Sydney just seemed to concede that ball there, and not enough numbers getting back to assist the plugger.
I think Lewis was trying to draw Koutoufides away from that contest, but Koutoufides didn't fall for it.
And Cresswell spoils Williams. He's done it to him before and has been an absolute nightmare to the dual Brownlow medalist.
Sort of environment that Daryn Cresswell relishes, I think, taking on the responsibility. Luff over the back, O'Loughlin with a quick right footer. It's very, very high. Garlick pushing back, takes the mark. He's been allowed it by the umpire. Simon Garlick is a goal-kicking player. Formerly Central under-18s, and prior to being drafted was playing with Richmond reserves and played in the final series with them. Coming around, tries the right foot. Didn't come around enough. 1 behind. Sydney now creeping out. 11 points of difference. Silvani in short to Hickmott.
Hickmott, another short one. Camporeale floats one over the top. Sexton. Round the boundary line with a bit of length. Here's a bit of length and a good mark to Madden. Big Harry launched his book during the week. Apparently a very good read. Unlike most footballers who've written books, actually, I think Harry's actually read a few. Knocked up there by Christou. Goes to Koutoufides. Long kick, goal! The terrible twins combined in the middle of the ground. Christou and Kouta, they're inseparable, and they were again.
Well, yes, he's the man, Koutoufides, that's really keeping Carlton in as much as any one player is. Dale Lewis really can't quite handle it, can't quite keep up with him, isn't drawing him out of the play. And again, Kelly, just a real hard work, almost pushed Koutoufides off the board, but very good. 13 possessions already.
Koutoufides' goals brings his side a little closer towards Sydney. 44 plays 39. Matthew Allen to do the ruck work on this occasion against Stafford. Down it goes. Kelly in amongst it. A wild handball, just trying and hoping for somebody. Heaver overruns it. Sexton fumbles it. Luff takes it. He feeds wide now. The run coming from McPherson from behind the ball. He's kicking towards full forward. Silvani in front of Lockett. The ball for interference against Hickmont O'Brien.
I think there's some players in league football that just know how to play for a free kick and make sure if it's a half free kick, they certainly get it. And I think we can put Craig O'Brien high up in that group.
As a defender, I'd say quite high. Lee definitely grabbed hold of Hickmont's arm and pulled it over the neck there. Be that as it may, he shoots, looking for his third goal, but it's not there on this occasion. Craig O'Brien, 2 goals, 4 last week. Really gets the opportunities within range and should be able to complete them. Silvani just drops it in short to Heaver. Doing a lot more roving these days. Formerly a specialist forward pocket. To Sexton. Comes wider still now. Clape, Camporeale. He's now found Julio in some space. Go, son, take it, and away you go with the one bounce. He has Fraser Brown coming hard towards the boundary line. The kick falls short. Clape keeps his feet, runs onto it. Dunkley attacks it, slings it towards the boundary line, doesn't quite make it, but now it's over there. Sydney quite prepared to have a go at the man when they've got the ball and quite aggressive in defence.
Garlick off for Roos. Prefer the smell of the Roos. From the 50, a centering kick. Palmed out by Kernahan to Pearce. He hoists it high, but it won't come back. It stays left and through for a behind. So Brad Pearce today with 1 goal, 1. And Stephen Kernahan, his goal so far, he's kicked 1 out of bounds and a poster. And Scott Daryn resumes his regular role of designated kicker for the Swans.
Just waits for the right option. Decides to go long towards Stafford. It comes to ground level. Lewis pushing it round high. Very good work there from Maxfield. Very courageous in actual fact. Eyes on the ball all the way. Not quite sure what was coming his way. He now heads towards Luff at centre half forward. Kick it over the back.
He had to mark it. It was the dangerous spot again. They keep playing Russian roulette in the centre square. Outside, inside. You've got to mark it.
Well, if anyone's going to pull something out of the bag,
If he's going to go the big talk.
He'd probably kick it as well.
He'd like to go the big talk.
give her a ride, Derek. That's what the people have come to see.
Breeze behind.
There it goes. It's going. It's to the left.
It's a hell of a kick.
It's a lot of ground.
It's a good 65-metre kick, but it's hard to keep the torps on line. They sort of tend to either go left to right or right to left in the air.
It is a difficult kick.
To kick straight over a long period, at long distance. They curl off at the end with their trajectory.
So Christo, he's a more conventional drop punt kicker, and it goes quite a distance as well. Koutoufides gathers the ball at the back to Whitehead. Sexton running through the centre wing area. Too early, Huskus. Umpire allows it to go on.
That was a free.
Flipped on out. McPherson at ground level. Buys it on to Daryn. Roos has to go very, very quickly by foot, but not far enough. Manton to Sexton. He kicks it in. Dunkley at front couldn't complete it. Huskus again. 2-3 handballs by Sydney to Dunkley, and he goes with that wobbly torpedo punt kick of his. Now the numbers are all with the Blues. McKay, Koutoufides. Sexton will have another go at putting into a forward line effectively, and he does on this occasion.
And Allen takes the mark in the forward pocket. Matthew Allen started on interchange. Just replaced Madden. We've reached just past the 18-minute mark of the second quarter. Distance not a problem, but he's out pretty wide for a left footer. Oh, good kick. Well, might have just floated across. Crowd got excited.
very excitable, the crowd today. They're not a very good guide. They keep going up for these behinds and fooling us all.
But it's a strange mix of a crowd because the Swans have got a fair percentage of the crowd here. Normally you'd expect Carlton to have it 95-5. This ball's out of bounds and we'll have a throw in at half back for the Swans.
Scott Camporeale, premiership in his first year last year. And a very, very exciting talent. Look at that. Up off the ground, finds the space, gives it to Diesel. He couldn't do anything with it. He was tackled. He's free kicked. Michael O'Loughlin to Stafford.
And Luff off and Jason Mooney to centre-half forward. Sexton has been a stumbling block down there. Swan's gone for another centre-half forward.
Stafford really can't find anything here.
That's why there's no centre-half forward to kick to, is there?
He's now gone long, hoping Roos can take it. Gets in front. Well done. Plays it on quickly to the ideal kicker in that position, the left-footed Maxwell, towards Lockett and Silvani. It drops to ground. Christou's first one back. Brent needs to work hard. Couldn't run him down. The short kick favours Hannah. Held on to by Seymour. Clearly the jumper pulled. Hannah finds Christou. Brings it right across the ground now to McKay. He has Fraser Brown, and Fraser has as much space as he wants. He could set up camp there after dropping that if he wanted to. Towards Kernahan. Dunkley can't get that out of that vice-like grip. Another little chip inboard to Ratton. He now looks for Pearce, the main option now. Eustace from behind Koutoufides out of nowhere. The left foot, it's the post.
Got a ball of his own, Koutoufides, hasn't he?
After a bit of a down period of a couple of weeks, he's really run back into form now.
Stafford takes the mark from Daryn's kick in. And the Blues have chipped away and trailed by just 4 points. Margin was 11 at quarter time. Eustace up from defence. He played on around Williams. And Williams thought so too, but the umpire says you can go back and have your kick, son. And there's Williams' man, Cresswell. Kick by Cresswell to the attacking 50 for the Swans. Lewis had a tough time of it. And the ball knocked towards the boundary line and has gone out. So we'll have a throw in inside half forward for the Swans. Dale Lewis, was he playing on there?
I think he was a gunner if he was able to just slip Williams by 6 inches, but couldn't quite do it.
Red hot. Allen flips to the back, outside the 50, off the ground Diulio and out of play. Just under 4 minutes remaining to half time here, and a real nip and tuck game between the leaders Carlton and 4th place Sydney. The margin 4 points. Great match of the day.
Allen gains front position in the ruck contest against Mooney. O'Loughlin went without it at ground level. Sydney's lead 11 points at quarter time. Now down to 4. Carlton kicking 2 goals and Sydney just the 1 in this second quarter. Dale Lewis on the right foot this time around the body. Silvani has the front position, controlling the ball, gathers it cleanly. Free kick awarded against Lockett, an advantage given to Carlton. Away they go with a chain of handballs. Hickmott, the initiator, follows up, receives it again. Kernahan couldn't take the ball out wide. Dunkley gives it off. Koutoufides intercepts. The little chip kick. Camporeale has the space, but pulls it up.
He's a freak, Cooter. You don't know whether he's a key position, a ruckman, a wingman, a rover.
Call him what you like, he can just play.
Camporeale yet to score a goal this afternoon from 40 metres out. Very deliberate in the approach. It's gone to the left. Contest on the line, and it's forced over the line, and the umpire awards 1 behind.
Swans in this quarter have kicked 1-3. Carlton have kicked 2 goals, 5. So there's been plenty of scoring opportunities, but not many goals. Daryn not sure, and the crowd starting to get on the Swans' back. The umpire told him to get on with it. Kelly in the chop, and he waits. He took a couple of players under that marking contest and finishes up with the football. Well played, Kelly, but kicks into Allen. Lockett made a good start. Here he is again. Tackle high, play on. Well done, McKay. And actually, we've seen a lot of that in this game. Little hand passes have been knocked down by opponents. The ball going nowhere. The smothering, the tackling has been superb. And I hope you appreciate some of what's going on here. It's two top teams really having a dip.
Lachlan now finds the room to get the kick towards the full forward position. Lockett, Silvani in front. Lewis down the ground. Quick give towards O'Brien. He on further. Seymour bumps into his own teammate in Lockett. Lockett at ground level. Searching it out towards Grant, and he's wrapped up by D'Urlio.
Seymour learned a lesson then. Get out of Plugger's way. That hurt him.
It's aggression at the ball, even if it's your teammate. Didn't quite see him there, of course, but if you're hard enough at the ball, even if a teammate gets in the way, he gets hurt.
25 metres out from goal for Sydney. Carlton defence putting the numbers around this contest. Quick kick out there by Mooney. Just the behind. Sydney now by 4 points. Steve Silvani brings it in yet again. And again to Hickman. Both sides concede that little short kick now. Second kick, the most important one, and Hickman finds Allen. A very good mark. He off one step. Short kick to Fraser Brown. Forward handball to Ratton. Dummies around. Kicks with the right foot. Pearce couldn't gather what he should have. Eustace from behind cleans up. McPherson's there assisting him. His handball isn't good at ground level. Manton's there to gather it up. Ratton in amongst him. Stafford into the back of Ratton, and the umpire says so.
And the Carlton fans are baying and howling as though they haven't had a free all week. Kicked by Ratton. Allen's had a good few minutes here since replacing Madden. Here goes Mel Hanna. Beats a man. Gets to the 50. Goes long for goal. What an effort by Mel Hanna. Welcome back to the big time. His first kick today after coming off the bench. Full points and the Blues in front.
Well, it's certainly been a good quarter for Carlton. They've pretty much dried up Sydney's scoring, and on the rebound out of the fence, they've looked very dangerous as they've gone forward. And just at the moment, the ascendancy in the game, midfield under control, and Allen's come onto the ground and done better than Madden, and Hanna eventually the player to finish out near the 50-metre line.
Ange Christou off having a word with coach David Parkin, and they see that their side now is 2 points up. A chance now to push forward. Hanna again on the wing, in short to Williams. Only seconds to go. Beaumont, who's a fresh player on the ground, wrapped up by Kelly. He's going nowhere. And Carlton resting control on the scoreboard after Sydney led by 11 points. Carlton now at the half-time break have a 2-point lead. And much to do with the way in which the Carlton midfield took control in.
I think so, and I think also the Carlton defence basically took fair control in that quarter, and when the Carlton defence are on top, the rebound out of their defensive area, that's when the Carlton midfielders run to space and put the pressure on the Swans defence, which held up fairly well anyway. Really, it was a very good quarter, slightly Carlton's way, but really I just think this is a very good game of football.
And the Blues have had 7 different goal scorers and have hit the front by half-time and lead 7-7-49 to the Swans 7-5-47.